Come on up the hill to the cradle of forestry. We got a real nice place here amongst the trees. History, nature, science, what more do you need? Forest-inspired nature discovery.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and this is my dear friend, Sally Snag. Today we're going to be reading a story and learning more about Sally, the snag, and her animal friends. The snag is a dead standing tree and can provide food and shelter for many animals. The story of Sally Snag and the Animal Inn. Many years ago, Sally Snag fell to the earth as an acorn. Soon she sprouted and became a little seedling. As soon as she could spread her roots, she began to grow and grow. She continued to grow until she was the biggest and tallest oak tree in the forest. She was shade for the plants and animals living there. Birds would nest and perch in her branches. Squirrels would chase around and scamper up and down her big trunk. Animals would come from miles around to eat her acorns, and her acorns were the most delicious, nutritious acorns in the forest. Squirrels, turkeys, and bears all depended on them. But as the years wore on, Sally became very old and weak. She could no longer grow flowers and make acorns, her seeds. Then, one cold, dark, and stormy night, the wind blew very strong, and Sally swayed back and forth, back and forth. Ice covered her, getting thicker and thicker by the hour. Then suddenly, her top branches broke off, and she was left quite bare. She was no longer the majestic tree she once was. Her buds would no longer sprout into beautiful green leaves and flowers in the warm spring sun. No more would birds come and rest on her branches, or squirrels keep her company. Most would think Sally's life as a tree was over, but boy would they be wrong. Sally Snag actually gained more forest friends after she died than when she was alive. It wasn't long before animals of all kinds came to find food and shelter at Sally Snag's Animal Inn. Let's meet some of Sally Snag's Animal Inn guests. Our first one is a woodpecker, a pileated woodpecker. They love to visit snags and peck holes and look for insects. They also make bigger holes with their beaks that they can nest in, and then other animals can use as shelter. Who do we have next? A bat. Bats love snags. They will hang upside down in them to hibernate over the winter or also rest between meals. Snags don't last forever. As time passes, Sally will become weaker and weaker, and so soon won't be able to stand up anymore. Finally, Sally will fall over, becoming a fallen, hollow log. Now on the ground, Sally will serve as a good place to find food, a home, and resting place for many animals. Let's meet some more of Sally Snag's Animal Inn guests. Who do we have? We have a squirrel. Squirrels and chipmunks love to use fallen logs to store their seeds and nuts for the winter. And last but not least, we have a salamander. So salamanders and frogs love fallen logs. They can find lots of insects there, and they can also hibernate there during the winter. So you'll a lot of times see, if you roll over a fallen log, salamanders hiding underneath. As time goes by, Sally will slowly sink into the ground and go back into the soil. But wait, Sally isn't finished helping the forest just yet. A decaying log on the forest floor is called a nurse log. Many insects come to eat and decompose the remaining log into rich soil for the forest. Many animals will visit to find shelter and eat the insects and fungi busy decomposing the nurse log. Once Sally has fallen over and decayed, she returns good nutrients and minerals to the soil to help new trees and other plants to grow. Forest animals will use these plants to survive, and so the cycle continues. Thank you for giving me the time to talk about Sally Snag and her animal inn. Now you can see why snags are a very important part of our environment, even though they are no longer alive. There really is life in dead trees.